Light a match. Ignite a war.
2019 Chicago. Just like in other cities worldwide, martial law is declared due to the extraterrestrial invasion of Earth. The U.S. authorities make no attempt to defend the country's independence and soon begin collaborating with the alien legislators. The Drummond family tries to leave the city, maneuvering through traffic, but they're stopped by the police. John Drummond poses as a detective and tells them they're heading north. The cop asks if he got an order, and then John suddenly turns around and speeds off in the opposite direction. The officer demands they stop, but the detective does not comply, and the cop opens fire on the car. John Drummond calms down his frightened wife and explains that they need to leave, gather strength, and resist the alien invaders. John drives through the city roads, crashing through barriers, and soon enters a dark tunnel. Suddenly, he stops upon seeing something strange ahead. His wife pleads with John to turn around and leave, but he doesn't react to her words. Suddenly, an alien entity attacks the parents and vaporizes them. However, their children, Gabriel and Rafe Drummond, manage to survive. The shaken boys look up and suddenly see a terrifying alien creature near their car. The creature notices Gabriel and Rafe, but still lets them live. Next, we learn about the Earth's takeover through short messages sent from Pilsen Elementary School's network. First, the aliens cut off the power nationwide and force the White House to accept ceasefire terms, after which electricity is restored. Then the military is demobilized, and the alien forces take control of the planet. Since then, the invaders are referred to as legislators. After some time, the legislators enclose the center of Chicago and relocate all its residents. Similar closed zones appear in other cities, and humanity is now busy building underground shelters for the aliens. Gradually, the aliens deplete Earth's natural resources, social inequality worsens, and the police are granted the right to deport people off-world. Only the police are allowed to interact with legislators and enter the closed zone. In 2026, the resistance group Phoenix launches its first attack on a closed zone, but their operation fails, and Rafe Drummond is eliminated. At the beginning of 2027, the last message was sent, stating that the main goal of the resistance is to strike at the closed zone. It remains unchanged, and it's necessary to light a match and ignite the war. What would you do in a similar situation? Would you fight for freedom or reconcile with alien authority? Share your thoughts in the comments. 9 years after the initial contact with the legislators in 2027, Chicago Police Special Branch Commander William Mulligan reviews recordings from hidden cameras in Gabriel Drummond's house. After saying goodbye to his girlfriend, Gabriel meets up with his friend named Jurdis, discussing the upcoming Phoenix attack during the Unite rally. William Mulligan looks at a fresh newspaper and suddenly notices the suspicious advertisement from the Phoenix Fire Safety Service with the distinctive emblem of the resistance group. Mulligan arrives in the Pilsen district, where he photographs the same Phoenix emblem displayed on one of the buildings. He then heads to a brothel to meet with its owner, Jane Doe, who secretly provides him with classified information. William Mulligan returns to the police department and informs his colleague that the Phoenix resistance group wasn't neutralized and now rebels are communicating through advertisements.
If we don't act now, we're facing a full-blown insurgency.
Meanwhile, Resistance's Patrick and Charles meet in a secluded location, discussing a plan to infiltrate the closed zone through Soldier Field Stadium, where the Unite rally will take place. Later, Patrick goes to an abandoned bus near the closed zone and passes necessary information to a person in a mask. Gabriel arrives at work in the Data Reclaim Center, where he checks numerous people's mobile phones for prohibited information and then destroys SIM cards. Suddenly, Gabriel notices his colleague discreetly taking SIM cards and hiding them under a protective mask. During lunch break, a girl shows Gabriel a small note with classified information. She rolls up a cigarette from the note, allowing Gabriel to secretly take it out of the building.
I hope you put it to good use.
How would you transmit secret information to your allies? Share your ideas in the comments. In the news, they discuss the upcoming Unite rally, scheduled for today, where representatives of the legislators are expected to be present. Gabriel and others return from work, and suddenly the cameras in the sky react to a buzz on a woman's neck who took the SIM cards. Special branch officers arrive immediately, and in front of the frightened crowd, they put the woman in a car and drive away. Later, Gabriel arrives at the seaside, where he watches as interplanetary transport deports the unfortunate woman off-world. Then Gabriel meets with Jurdis, who shows him a gun he intends to take on the operation. Gabriel urges him to take their work more seriously, as weapons are strictly forbidden in the New World. Friends argue, but suddenly they hear the sound of a car outside the window. Georges hides the gun and flees, while Gabriel encounters William Mulligan and reluctantly gets into his car. Mulligan offers Gabriel a meal and asks him about Phoenix. Gabriel claims he knows nothing and is not associated with the group. However, Mulligan doesn't believe him.
I don't want you winding up like your brother.
Oh, you mean Dad?
I mean on the wrong side.
Mulligan confesses that he and Gabriel's father were partners once and that he now feels responsible for him. He urges Gabriel to make the right choice and kicks him out of his car. In the evening, Gabriel goes to meet a member of Phoenix to sell a cigarette with a secret code. However, the man, without explanation, forces Gabriel into a van and puts a metal collar on him, masking the signal of his bug. The man takes him to Wicker Park, where they conducted a previous operation, but Gabriel still doesn't understand the reason of being here. He enters an apartment in one of the abandoned buildings and removes the collar. Suddenly, Rafe appears behind him, who miraculously survived. Gabriel can't believe his eyes, and the brothers embrace tightly. Rafe tells him that he's the only one who survived among the resistances. He also shows Gabriel a scar on his neck and reveals that they removed his bug, and there are other such people off the grid. Gabriel is upset with Rafe for not staying in touch all this time, but Rafe claims it was too dangerous. Rafe takes the cigarette with the secret code and tells his brother about the need to attack the legislators before it's too late. He also gives Gabriel money to go to a safe place. Gabriel doesn't want to lose his brother and urges him not to participate in the operation, but Rafe is determined to succeed and prove to the world that the legislators can be defeated.
Light a match. Ignite a war.
Rafe urges Gabriel to finally take a side in this confrontation. Suddenly, suspicious sounds are heard from outside. Rafe immediately asks his brother to leave and promises to find him once everything is over. Disappointed, Gabriel leaves, and Rafe goes upstairs. He cuts the cigarette with the code, attaches a note to a carrier pigeon, and releases it from the window. Then Rafe gathers various pieces of evidence, burns them, and hastily leaves the building. Meanwhile, Mulligan, inside a van with colleagues, tracks Gabriel using his bug and listens to his conversation with his girlfriend. When Gabriel returns home, excited, he tells her that his brother is alive and shows her a wad of cash. He urges her to get away from the attack site, but she doesn't want to run and begs him to stay. Gabriel leaves, and Mulligan orders all the recorded information to be sent to higher authorities. As he exits the house, Gabriel notices Mulligan and starts running, but Mulligan gets in a car and begins to pursue him. Gabriel escapes into the closed zone and hides in an abandoned building. However, the foreign drones surround Gabriel after tracking him down. He puts on the collar, and the signal from his bug disappears, causing Mulligan to lose sight of him. Failing to capture him, William Mulligan returns to work and makes adjustments to the Phoenix case. Patrick receives a note with a pigeon from Rafe and heads to meet with hackers. Thanks to the secret code, the resistances gain access to the Chicago Police Special Branch surveillance system. They also manage to identify the deputy mayor, who unknowingly has to carry a bomb to the event. The resistances pass the information to Charles, and soon a new edition of the newspaper with the Phoenix emblem is published. One of the resistance members takes the newspaper to a radio station, where a specific song is played as a signal for other resistances. A girl named Anita and other Phoenix members gather at a specific location to remove the bugs that could expose them.
Got it.
Patrick meets with a Moore worker who hands him bugs from other people. These will help Phoenix members cover their tracks. Rafe meets with Eddie the priest, and they head to another ally. A clergyman brings precious items to the woman, and in return, she hands them mysterious alien technology that can hide anything from scanners. The resistances arrive at a nightclub, where Patrick makes explosives invisible using the alien technology. He then passes the invisible device to Rafe, and a club employee helps them by giving them car keys. At night, Patrick brings the group of resistances new bugs and warns that starting tomorrow, they will all be listed as deceased, and any contacts with friends and family are now prohibited. Then all participants in the operation prepare cyanide pills in case of failure and head to Unite Rally. Meanwhile, William Mulligan watches the event's broadcast. The city's mayor gives a solemn speech in honor of the legislators and invites all viewers to thank the aliens for years of peace and prosperity. The resistances arrive at Soldier Field Stadium and are allowed in without obstacles due to the changed bugs. A delegation led by the deputy mayor goes to greet the legislators. Rafe rushes after them and accidentally bumps into the deputy, attaching an invisible bomb to him. All the spectators sing the battle hymn of the Republic, and an alien spaceship is already visible above the stadium. Soon, terrifying aliens emerge from it. As the deputy mayor approaches them, a powerful explosion occurs. At the same time, Gabriel wakes up and finally escapes the trap set by the alien drones. And Mulligan opens the box given to him by Jane Doe and takes out a BlackBerry phone. People panic and rush out of the stadium, and the aliens once again cut off the electricity throughout the city. Eddie the priest doesn't survive the shootout, but the remaining members of Phoenix manage to escape. Rafe flees but soon encounters a legislator, surviving the encounter by a miracle. Allies come to the rescue in time and destroy the alien, revealing their true face by removing its mask. Finally, the resistances leave and then hurry to destroy all evidence. William Mulligan meets with Commissioner Igor and learns that the legislators are sending hunters from another planet to capture the resistances. Mulligan believes it's safer to sweep the area without the help of the alien hunters, but Igor doesn't want to listen to Mulligan's advice, as he wants to fulfill the legislators' demands quickly and leave Earth to join them. Mulligan goes to Jane Doe and admits that he can no longer protect her. They dance together in farewell, while the aliens have already begun their hunt. The police special branch also conducts raids throughout Pilsen. Gabriel returns home and witnesses police officers beating up Jervis. In his rage, he threatens the officer with a gun, but at that moment, William Mulligan arrests him and the other detainees. Now the police are focusing all their efforts on capturing Rafe with his fake bug. A resistance member named Evan calls his wife to apologize, but she immediately hands the phone over to masked individuals who have come to search their house. Rafe, Anita, and Daniel successfully board a bus to New York, but suddenly they are intercepted by alien hunters. Faced with a hopeless situation, Daniel swallows a cyanide tablet. Anita attempts to escape, but she is eliminated by the aliens. Rafe gets off the bus and is also about to swallow a tablet, but Mulligan shoots and arrests him. Later, in the police station, Mulligan interrogates Gabriel and demands to know when he last met Rafe. However, Gabriel refuses to cooperate. Mulligan then locks him up in a cell, where Rafe is being coerced into giving testimony. Rafe scolds his brother for not leaving, and Gabriel reminds him with annoyance that he asked him not to be a hero, then walks away. In the station, Mulligan insists that Gabriel deliver a message from Phoenix, which will help them track down their ringleader, promising to spare Rafe's life in return. Gabriel agrees and goes to Patrick. He shows him an announcement with the Phoenix emblem and demands to meet the leader of the resistances, Number 1. He also claims to know how to enter the closed zone. Patrick confers with Charles, and they decide to deliver the message to their leader. Gabriel is taken to Jane Doe's brothel, where it turns out that she is Number 1. The woman recognizes Gabriel and calls him by name, but at that moment, the police burst into the room and shoot Doe. They conduct a thorough search. It is soon revealed that Doe had been eavesdropping on the entire brothel, recording conversations with special branch members and transmitting secret information through the network. After some time, Mulligan reports to the legislators about the resistance group and its leaders, claiming that they have all been neutralized. He also reveals that Jane Doe's real name is Priscilla Scott, and that she was previously a history teacher at Pilsen Elementary School. It turns out that most members of the special branch were clients of Jane Doe and unwittingly gave her secret information. Commissioner Igor got compromised too, and now William Mulligan, as the acting commissioner, needs to head into the closed zone. Meanwhile, Rafe and the other prisoners leave Earth on an interplanetary transport, and Gabriel watches it depart. Later, he meets with Mulligan, who reveals that Rafe is still alive after all. However, this doesn't bring joy to Gabriel, as he knows he will never see his brother again, and his plan has failed.
What if the plan was to fail?
Mulligan hands Gabriel a SIM card from Jane Doe's phone and suggests that maybe failure was the plan and reminds that it's being monitored. Gabriel goes back to work, reviews the card's content, and finds a video on it from his own baby shower attended by friends of his parents, William Mulligan and Priscilla Scott. At the same time, Mulligan is cleared to meet underground with the legislators. Suddenly, he discovers an invisible alien explosive attached to him. While descending, the invisible substance of the potent explosive envelops him. He's ready to sacrifice his life to destroy the legislators right in the closed zone. All this time, he's been part of the resistance, and the failed plan was orchestrated to infiltrate the alien stronghold. During the final credits, we learned that the closed zone in Chicago was successfully destroyed, and mass resistance protests have erupted in cities worldwide. This means the Pilsen resistances indeed managed to light a match and ignite the war. This was the movie Captive State. Personally, I support the hero's struggle for freedom and independence from the legislators. However, I don't think that eliminating isolated cells would have helped overthrow them. Yet, the film offers hope for a better future for humanity, and one wants to believe that it will truly come. What do you think awaits people if the power of the legislators is overthrown? And what if the aliens don't give up and seek revenge? Let's discuss these questions in the comments.